Season 8, Episode 12. Marks for Effort. So, yes, we have, this is sort of the explanation episode for if there are two schools, why aren't the CMC going to Twilight School? That sort of question that sort of hung over this season a little bit with the new school. To which the CMC are very curious about Twilight School. In fact, making a pony totem, which putting the unicorn at any place but the top seems. I guess it's a choice of what danger you want. You want to get, the Pegasus hit by the unicorn horn in case they fall, or do you want to put the unicorn on top where they can't fly away, or at least glide down? So there's that mild danger of doing it that way, but
yeah, but also the Pegasus can't fly, so it's really more like just two Earth ponies.
Suppose, but I think she can flutter a little bit. She can't fly, but she could at least slow her fall a little bit. She can't straight up fly, but she can kind of like fall with style. So they sneak a peek through the window at Pinky giving a lesson in sharing. Pay a compliment to a classmate and give a cupcake to them. They in turn give a compliment and hand one of their cupcakes to another, and so everybody starts with one cupcake, everybody ends with one cupcake, but they actually get to eat the second cupcake, and they get used to sharing.
Cupcake.
Cupcake? We see Fluttershy bring new butterfly friends, and AJ plays buckball with the class. So Pinky was probably was teaching sharing and being nice and whatnot. Fluttershy, she might have just been teaching about bugs. It's like, yes, these are butterflies. And then AJ was probably doing teamwork for buckball. At this point, the CMC are envious and want to go to Twilight School instead. The one-room schoolhouse or the massive mansion.
Let's call it what it is. It's a castle.
It's not quite a castle. Sort of a Wattle and Daub sort of thing, if I remember correctly.
Sort of what?
Let me look it up. Wattle and Daub. It's that sort of everything's sort of. It's the art style. It's sort of architecture style where, it's mostly like a white color. Or one color, and then it's got the little. No, it's just a normal thing. I was remembering it wrong. But at any rate, where was I? So yeah, they want to go to Twilight School instead. Basically, at this point, they go ahead and plonk themselves down in Twilight's lecture on friendship through the ages. Wonder if it's got a musical element.
Yeah, probably not.
But it might have a theme song.
Borrow that song from the other world. To which Twi pulls him aside and lets Spike conduct the lesson. And we actually get to see what Chancellor Puddinghead actually looked like. see, what was it? Twilight tells them. Twilight tells them they don't need her lessons. They're already good at the things she would teach. They need Cheerilee's lessons in physics and the other stuff. It's a bit like, you know, the Twilight School is more Hogwarts, and Cheerilee's school is more a normal school. You're actually going to learn things that, you know, will come in handy practically, and the friendship will, but, you know, more practical lessons from Cheerilee, including the history of turnips.
Turnips.
Which I suppose, for a town that ostensibly does a lot of farming, the history of agriculture seems... What?
Yeah, but I don't think any of them wanted to turn up for those lessons.
And apparently Spike is an excellent teacher because he's got them saying, "Oh, dragon, my dragon." It's the Dead Poet Society reference.
I mean, I would have taught it like that.
You would have made your students say, "Oh, captain, my captain."
No, I would have meant to say, "Oh, floof, my floof."
Nobody's gonna floof your floof.
You know, after
that could get you some serious trouble, you know, asking students to floof your floof.
Yeah.
I say wrong before I said it.
At this point, they've come up with the idea that they definitely need. They're determined to prove that they need the friendship lessons. Applebloom leaves the farm in disarray to the dismay of AJ. Applebloom's pretty transparent about this, and AJ doesn't buy it. She gives her a private lesson in cleaning up the mess. Sweetie just straightforwardly begs Rarity, and Scootaloo just attends Dash's classic incognito with a Groucho disguise. Gets called out when she knows a story that Artie never told her students. It's like, yes, we knew. I haven't told these ponies, these creatures, everything. How do you know this? It's like, oh, you are Scootaloo. I could not tell behind the Groucho Marx disguise, given that you are the exact orange and purple filly that with the wings that I see on a daily basis. That I would not recognize you with a Groucho Marx disguise.
Oh, come on. I mean, look at Lois Lane. She worked extensively with Clark Kent, is constantly hitting on Superman, and she still can't tell they're the same person behind a pair of glasses.
Yeah, but yeah, to separate them a little bit, you know, Clark, you know, doesn't have a cutie mark that is quite individualistic. I mean, you have to, you know, there are rarely any two cutie marks shared. So, yeah, and that's a pretty unique cutie mark. So it's like, you're Scootaloo. No, I'm not. That's literally your cutie mark. There are only 3 like that in the entire in Equestria that I know of, and you're the only orange Pegasus of those 3. So, ergo, Scootaloo. But yeah, they get a little frustrated with their initial efforts, and in a last-ditch effort to pretend they pretend to be fighting in front of Fluttershy and Pinkie, The acting is terrible. Though it
Yeah.
oddly almost kind of worked, but they celebrate prematurely and Pinky thinks they made up. So you didn't quite make it. You fouled up on the dismount.
You know, one of them should have told the other that their dad smelled of elderberries.
Why?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. It's a
Exactly.
Monty Python reference. No? Okay. So,
Are you calling my mother a pox-ridden wench?
yes.
Are you calling my father a goodly rotten apple? But he ain't even a goodly rotten apple, though.
Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. So, they're at the clubhouse scheming when a filly, Cozy Globe, arrives outside their clubhouse crying. Considering you'd have to go all the way into deep into Apple territory for that, it's a little suspicious. But maybe she's just wanting their help and figured that would getting them to make the first move was an interesting way of doing things.
And I admit, at first, I did not trust her.
The filly claims the class is too hard. She needs help with her homework. She needs to help 3 ponies: Big Mac, Bon Bon, and Mrs. Cake.
That could have been why she was in Apple territory, because she had to help Big Mac.
True enough. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, she could have been looking for Big Mac and couldn't find him and just get frustrated. Though he's kind of hard to miss, being big and red. But it's it's a big farm, so that wouldn't surprise me too much. So Scootaloo helps her with the first one, Bon Bon. Now we get this little exchange. That's Bon Bon. If you want to do something nice for her, first you gotta figure out what she needs. Well, how am I supposed to do that? Just pay attention. Friendship is about listening to others. She helps Bon Bon get a cactus home that keeps poking her in the face. But you'd think she would have brought her saddlebags or something. But if she was intending to buy a cactus, she would have brought saddlebags so that she wouldn't poke herself in the face. But okay. For Mrs. Cake, she and Sweetie sort rainbow sprinkles into different shakers. She just ends up mixing them back together into a rainbow again anyway, but it's the thought that counts.
That was funny.
Well, I suppose she didn't use the rainbow right then. She used the rainbow right then, but she might in the future do do just red or just green or something and mix them up, and that might come in handy later. But
the fact that they separated each individual sprinkle.
Yeah, that was something. But yeah, the thought that counts. Big Mac, she helps harvest the apples with Apple Bloom so Big Mac can go see Sugar Belle. Which is kind of funny for the first few seconds when Big Mac's just sitting there, he's kicking trees and nothing's happening. It's like, what? What's going on? Did I lose my kicking?
Well, he's gonna go from bucking trees to bucking something else.
Yeah. We get this another little exchange. Cozy Glow. Golly, how'd you know that would make him so happy? Apple Bloom. Friendship means pitching in to help others' chores go faster, especially when they're special. Some ponies waiting for them. Which was cute, but
It was.
At this point, she's gone to turn in her homework and whatnot, and the CMC have gone back to school. They're coming out of the schoolhouse, and the CMC are quite bored out of their skulls by the history of radishes with Julie. Cozy asked for their help again after she got an A for helping those three. She needs to study for a test. After several situations, these examples of the elements, aside from magic, they quiz her about the elements until she can recite them by heart. We need a montage. So there's just lots of examples, quizzing her, drilling her on it till she knows everything really well, which makes me wonder exactly how much of the curriculum they actually covered in that little series of events. Like how much of this year's curriculum did she actually just run out there? Anyway, at this point we find out Cozy Glow failed her friendship test. Twilight calls the three into her office.
Twilight's really good at jumping to conclusions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's pretty weird that she, got it all wrong. But, so, I mean, I guess, the thing is I guess she couldn't have guessed that that's what they were trying to do. That's what she was trying to do. But it was a pretty weird situation. Why did she fail so epically? Anyway, Twilight thinks they intentionally taught her wrong, as in spite, and tells them to stay away from Cozy and the school. You are banished. Cozy goes to see Glimglam, the very bored guidance counselor. There's a lot of bored ponies in this episode. And she's extremely excited about having something to do. Officers, the comfort pillow, the blanket, the Coco.
Yes, drink the cup.
Yes. And we get the meme face of the episode.
Yes.
That's devious. She thought if she failed the test, Twilight would think they were bad at friendship and let them attend. Get Starlight saying, actually, I think you're doing all right. Sure, that was a really, really bad way to try to help your friends. What matters is if you wanted to. The reason the Cutie Mark Crusaders don't go to the school is because they'd make better teachers than students. Oh. To which Glimglam borrows the CMC from the schoolhouse. There it is. Cozy fessed up and is praised for her honesty. In response, the CMC get honorary diplomas and are friendship tutors. This was what?
And then it hits him like, wait, we wanted to go to school, not teach it.
Well, you're there. You might get handed a cupcake anyway. Or play buckball. Depends. Depends what the afternoon tutoring session comes into. It also plays into what they, what their natural talent is anyway, of helping others. This is just sort of an extension of that. Like I said, it's a nice way to wrap up the dangling question of why the CMC don't attend the school. Because they teach it. So now all main casts are somehow faculty at the friendship school.
Somehow.
It was nice seeing, that they're just making the whole Big Mac Sweetie Belle thing just sort of, that's just happening. It's there. They're not making a big deal out of it. That's just happening. What else is it? Yeah, and Cozy Glow is, what I originally thought with the trailer for this was, or what my initial thoughts going into it, because I'd only seen little bits and pieces. I'm not sure if I even saw the trailer fully, but was that this was going to be one of those, they were going to help her with her homework, and they were going to do her homework, end up doing her homework for her, and that was the lesson they were going to learn was, you need to do your own work. But this was much better. Also, I know she showed nicety, but Cozy Glow seemed a little off. Like it was just this ominousness to her that you can't quite put your hoof on. But
Yeah.
there's something not quite right with that. There's something not quite right with that lass.
There wasn't something quite right about the version of the episode I was watching, and then I found out when the beginning credits came on, they were backwards.
No, somebody mirrored it so that it wouldn't get caught by copyright or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't always work. It's not a good strategy.
I'm like, well, I mean, it was still a good episode. It's not like mirroring it changed it at all.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about the way they do Pony is that all of the writing is sort of gibberish intentionally so that they can put it in international versions, and there's nothing weird going on. It's just sort of gibberish for the most part.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter if there is any writing. I don't think there was any writing. Was there writing in this episode other than credits?
No, like in the beginning, like after the song, it says produced or whatever.
Yeah, the credits.
The little white lettering.
But yeah, that's the nice bit about it is you can, because it makes it for an international audience. The mirroring doesn't really change anything. It just changes it just flips the stage direction. Instead of exit stage right, they exit stage left.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to say about this episode?
I got nothing.
Overall, it's all right. It wasn't oh my gosh, amazing, but it wasn't bad either.
Yeah.